Welcome back to another video of the Outsider Sports Baseball Podcast. Corey Jason, John Pauline. John, it's been an injury-riddled week in the majors this time around. A couple names I want to talk about, see what we think the impact might be, because a couple big names went down. I want to start off Braves catcher Drake Baldwin, 10-day IL with the right oblique strain. He's been playing extremely well. The Braves have, really needed him and Matt Olson, to propel them into being one of the best teams in baseball. So losing him for any type of time, and we don't know how long this will really be, that's a big loss for Atlanta.
It is, but I mean they're pretty far ahead. They have a comfortable lead in the NL East right now. I mean, I think they're 8 games ahead of the Phillies and stuff, and the rest of their team has been doing pretty well. So I mean, if it is just that 10-day thing, it shouldn't hurt them that much.
Right.
And I believe, like they're just what are they just? I believe they just won today. So. And they won the series against Boston. I mean, they got
we
destroyed.
We declared Boston dead a month ago,
So yeah, they got destroyed by the Marlins though that Monday game.
Must have made you feel good.
So yeah, I mean that helps the Phillies.
But losing Baldwin is going to be a big problem. I hope it's not a long injury, but
if it's short term, not
tricky.
Really. Long term, yeah.
Obliques are tricky because that you could really re-injure. It affects your swinging as a catcher and your catcher stance, the way you're turning and all that. That's a big issue. Hopefully this isn't anything too serious. Next one, though, Corey Seager of the Rangers, 10-day IL with lower back inflammation. The Rangers really can't afford to lose Seager. He is their best player. When everything's all said and done, he's the guy that leads the team. Can't really lose him. But they also look like they could be losing one of their starters in Mackenzie Gore. He was taken out in the second inning due to lat tightness. Now, any type of tightness in a pitcher, especially when it comes to those back muscles and those shoulder muscles, that's going to be a problem. So hopefully he's all right, but he might miss a start or two or even an extended period to really make sure this isn't something that pops up further down the line in the season.
I feel like every time a pitcher gets taken out, or it's usually always bad news.
Always, yeah.
It's like they're missing some time.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees just had that happen with Max Fried, where he was taken out, or he took himself out, really. Everybody thought it was going to be Tommy John. Doesn't look like it's trending towards Tommy John, but it does seem like he's going to be out a few weeks. I believe he's not going to throw for another 2 to 3 weeks. So hopefully he's back.
Cole coming back.
Yeah, Gerrit Cole will be back Friday. They had him skip his last rehab start. I think the reason being was he touched 99.6 on the radar gun. So the velo is back, and he's going to rejoin the rotation, and I think that's just going to be a really exciting time. But Ryan Jeffers, Minnesota catcher, he's on the 10-day with a fractured left hamate bone. That won't be 10 days. That will be a long time. And I feel like coming into this season, we saw a lot of hamate bone injuries. Corbin Carroll had one. I believe it was Jackson Holliday also had a hamate bone early on. So interesting that those have kind of ticked up. I wonder what the cause of that could be. But the next one, Clay Holmes of the Mets, the final guy I really want to talk about. 60-day IL with a fractured right fibula. They're saying if everything goes right, he'll be back sometime in August.
What was the thing that was sent in the group chat by you? The Mets trade Nemo to Texas, who hits a fly ball against the Yankees that injures Jason Dominguez. Spencer Jones gets called up to replace him and injures one of the Mets' best pitchers.
So the Mets are the reason why Clay Holmes by the transitive property.
Yeah.
But it's kind of crazy how you can even connect it to that, because it was a freak accident on a line drive up the middle that went off of Clay Holmes' leg. Holmes finished the inning and then started the next inning before getting taken out. So, it's kind of crazy how he was able to pitch on that. That guy is tough as nails.
Yeah. I would assume that had the hurt.
Yeah, and I'm
He probably
sure.
didn't even know it was broken. He probably just thought it was just like lingering from
Yeah, he
getting
said he
hit.
thought maybe it felt off, but didn't think it was anything serious. But I'm sure he'll be back in no time. I'm glad it's not a season-ending injury because he was having a good year for the Mets, but it definitely sucks.
That's gonna hurt the Mets though, because like I didn't think their starting pitching was that great to begin with, and then
Yeah,
now you're losing someone for at least an extended period of time.
right.
That's really gonna hurt, especially now since the Mets actually have started to hit more. We'll talk about that though when we get to
Yeah,
the Mets and
let's
the team talk.
let's start off with the team that's second in the NL East, the Phillies. 6-2 since last episode. 2-1 versus Boston. Sweep of the Pirates, 3 games to zip, and then 1-1 versus the Reds. They are 25-24. John, that's a winning record.
Yeah, they're finally over 500.
Yeah, 8-2 in the last 10. They're 8 games back of the division, though. 3.5 back of the wild card. They still have a negative 19 run differential, but
It's
second in
getting
the.
it's the run differential start. Like I said a couple weeks ago, like it's gonna start trending towards a positive.
Well, they were negative 32 a week ago.
Yeah,
And then a week before that, they were negative 54.
yeah. So I mean, it's getting there. It's getting there. They'll get back into a plus run differential.
Yeah, that's crazy. What do you think has been the turnaround? Is it Schwarber with the league leading 20 home runs?
I think it's the fact. I mean, you have Schwarber. He turned it on hitting. I mean, Harper is hitting too. I think like that gets lost because Harper is absolutely turning up, and then you have like other players who are picking up. Like you have Boehm, I believe, who is batting almost 400 this month of May. With I don't know how many, I forget how many he is, but he is batting over 400 this month of May. Let me see what his thing is, like what his actual stats are. But he has been doing great. I think Bryson Stott has been absolutely doing great too. He's been hitting, playing every day, so he's been doing really well. I mean, the pitching's been a little better. I mean, you've Sanchez who's been good like this whole season, and Wheeler's doing well. Lazaro put together a good game today, even though they lost, but a quality
Yeah.
start. Painter put together a quality start yesterday. Nola, I'm not really sure what's going on with him, but they kind of need him to figure it out
Yeah.
because that's the biggest thing. I'm on the wrong team. I'm on the Philadelphia Phillies.
John, you're disappearing on me.
I know.
I mean, I thought this is how the Phillies were going to be this year. I thought they were going to disappear from everybody, but I was wrong. The Phillies aren't dead. I'm man enough to admit that I was wrong. I still think that they fall short of the playoffs, but they are
I
definitely a team.
I don't know how you think they're gonna fight. I mean, I can see it, but I mean,
So you
they
can
just
see it.
spots right now. There's 3 spots. I mean, you have like right now the wild card as it looks at right now from the National League. You have the Dodgers in the first wild card spot, the Cubs, then the Cardinals, then you have the Pirates and Phillies that are Pirates, Phillies, Reds. All 3 of them are 3.5 games out. I think
It's
they
a
have
long
the Pirates
season.
ahead of the Phillies, and then you have the Phillies in fifth, the Reds in sixth, and so it's like right there. So I'm just saying, like it's there, and they're gonna play.
It's there, but I don't know. I think do we think Schwarber slows down with the home runs, or is he going to hit 60?
I mean, he's. I think there was something where I think it took him till like June or July in previous years, like I think June or July or something, to reach 20 home run mark, and this year he hit the 20 home run mark in May. So I mean he might not. He might just keep going. He has been out of the lineup though the past two games with an illness.
Right.
So I mean that kind of hurts a bit, but I mean everyone else has been hitting. Like I said, Boehm's been hitting, Stott's been hitting. I mean Turner finally had a home run today, so hopefully I
Yeah,
mean
you don't even hear much
everyone's
about Trey Turner at all. I feel like I
no
haven't heard Bryce Harper's name much,
Bryce Harper's been doing absolutely amazing on the year.
but his power has kind of dipped, hasn't it?
The power is down. I believe he's at, let's see, he's only at 12 home runs this
which is
season,
still
but he has
fairly
30
good.
RBIs. 30 RBIs, and that's what really matters is the RBIs. 30 RBIs. He's batting 277. I mean, that's really good.
No, it's very good.
I mean, that's really, really, really good. And I mean, to put it in perspective, I mean, Schwarber right now Schwarber has 20 home runs, 36 RBIs. So I mean, he only has 6 less RBIs than Schwarber.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean, Harper's having a quietly underrated season,
yeah.
and it's just making Dombrowski eat those words too.
It is. It is. I mean, I'm not a fan of Nebraska the way it is. I think he's terrible, and he just put together just terrible moves. I'm not a fan of him. But I mean, Harper's making him eat the words. I think that's the big
Yeah.
reason. He put a bunch of work in the offseason. I mean, he's taken a bunch of batting practice and stuff, even in the World Baseball Classic, like working extra hard because he wants to prove that he's still elite.
Yeah. I mean, the Phillies are playing extremely well, and it's kind of fun to see the way they've been playing. But a team that was in the same position as them just a few weeks ago was the Mets. Now, you ready to move on to the Mets?
Yeah.
The Mets, who were tied with the Phillies, they both had like the worst records in baseball early on. The Mets are still in last in their division, but they are playing so much better. And I'm glad because I was never off that the Mets were a good team train. The Mets are 6-1 since our last episode. 3-0 versus Detroit, they swept. Went 2-1 versus the Yankees, although the Mets probably could have just as easily went 3-0 or 0-3. That series could have went either way. And then they took game 1 versus Washington, and I believe they lost or are losing the second
They
game.
lost tonight.
They lost.
9-6.
But they are coming into today 21-20. My bad. Coming into this day, yeah, they are 21-26, 7-3 in their last 10. So they are playing much better, having the young guys up, 11 games back of the division, 6.5 of the wild card. That's the thing I want to point out. They are only 6.5 games out of a wild card spot. That is within reach. That is something that is doable over this long season. It is May. We are in May right now, mid-May, mid to late May. 6.5 games is not a lot of ground to make up.
You know, you're over here being really optimistic about the Mets while simultaneously being like down on the Phillies, like, oh, they can't make it. They're 3.5 games of the wild card. They're not going to make the playoffs. And then you have the Mets who are like double that, and you're like, it's still there, even though me and Dylan have
It's vibes.
season over.
It's vibes based. It's vibes based. The vibes around the Mets, I just think, are better long term.
Is Lindor back?
Was that?
Is Lindor back?
Not yet. They're
Wait
saying
till he
June,
comes
I
back.
believe.
It's going to fall apart.
Well, he's not back yet, and so they're winning. They have a -7 run differential, which is better than the Phillies.
That's because they put up a. That's because they're playing like they're
Right. And last week,
not pitchers.
they
It's
went from
16-7
-31 last week. The Phillies were at -32. The Mets were at -31, and now the Phillies, they only dropped it to -19, while the Mets are at -7. So, pretty good offensive showing from the last place Metropolitans. But did you see what happened last night in the Mets game?
I did not, but I saw something about the umps not knowing when a position player can come in the pitch.
Yeah, well, the Mets and the Nationals went 12 innings yesterday. We're talking Monday. They were 6-6 going into the 12th. The Mets scored 10 runs in the top of the 12th inning en route to a 16-7 final. I believe they're like the 7th team to score 10 runs in an extra inning game in MLB history, which shocked me that it's happened that many times as well.
I mean, baseball's been around a long time.
Well over 100 years, but double-digit runs in extra innings.
I mean, it's not that. I mean, when you look at it with the ghost runner, it's even. I assume it's even.
But
It
still,
should be
10 runs in an inning itself.
I mean, that's a lot, but I mean, I'm just saying it's not as it would be like the ghost runner helps. But still, that's a lot of runs. I mean, I'm just saying that still is a lot of runs in one inning.
It was a record-setting night. It was a great night for the Mets. Now they come back today and give up a little league inside the park grand slam to James Wood en route to a loss. So, oh no, the Mets, as the broadcast booth puts it. But the Mets are playing so much better, and I think that they are on the cusp of really turning it around and getting to where the Phillies are, at least now, because the Phillies and their turnaround is the blueprint for the Mets. And I think that the Mets have a higher ceiling where they have guys coming back, whether it's a Lindor or a Senga or even a Holmes comes back during the stretch. Like, you have guys, and then you have young guys like Benj,
I was gonna say, don't forget the young guys they have up with
Christian
Benj.
Scott. You have the young pitching, the young fielding. They're doing a lot with that. And then if you can get guys like Bichette to start hitting,
He is hitting now,
like,
actually.
more consistently, but the last like 4 games or so, he's been playing well. And if you get Soto playing well again, which he has been, then you're really cooking with something.
Yeah, I think I want to say what's been spurring the Mets comeback, like the Mets kind of turnaround here, has been the young players they've been bringing up. Because they brought up, was it that Ewing guy? What's his name?
Yeah, Ewing.
Ewing up, and I think since they brought him up, it's like they've been a different team. I feel like they started turning it around.
Yeah, for sure.
And it probably helped that they got that series against Detroit, who has not been playing well and is kind of down on their luck, so that helps a lot. And then the fact that they were able to go in and take the Subway Series against the Yankees there, which I'm sure you're not that happy about.
No, not at all. But it was a tough one, especially because the Yankees should have won, I would say. But let's talk about the Yanks because it has not been great, but it's better than it seems. Since last week, they are 3-3. They went 1-1 versus Baltimore, losing that series. 1-2 versus the Mets, losing that series in heartbreaking fashion. And then 1-0. They actually won game 2 as well today. So 2-0 versus Toronto. They are 29-19 coming into today. 3-7 in their last 10. 3 games back of the division to Tampa. 6.5 up in the wild card for wild card 1. So you at least still have a cushion that you can work with. A plus 69 run differential, and they are second in the AL East. It's been tough with the Yankees because their pitching and their offense have kind of struggled. The offense is striking out a lot. Judge hasn't had a home run in, it feels like, 2 weeks. But Ben Rice is now tied with Judge with 16 home runs. So that's still really fun. Ben Rice is hitting very well. McMahon's stealing bases, but he's not hitting great. Volpe, since he came back, due to Caballero's injury, has been playing really, really well. Caballero should be back Friday. Gerrit Cole should be back Friday. Schlittler is still pitching great. He dueled, really well with Clay Holmes. The Yankees have, a solid team, but you need more out of Austin Wells catching. Rice, like I said, is playing really well at first, and you're getting quality at bats from Goldschmidt. Jazz Chisholm is streaky, but he played really well versus the Mets. Volpe, like I said, he worked like 5 or 6 walks versus the Mets. So he's having quality at bats, had a couple big base hits, some big RBIs. The McMahon Rosario platoon at third needs work because you just can't keep going on with that. Judge, Bellinger, Grisham, they've been, really great, solid outfield for the most part. Grisham probably can hit better. And then Spencer Jones just needs time to play. Stanton's not in, so you still have that DH spot open. Dominguez isn't coming back anytime soon now due to that injury. And then the rotation, like I said, Will Warren has been pitching fairly well. I think today was one of his more, negative starts versus the Blue Jays. Schlittler is an ace. He's the favorite for the Cy Young now. Fried is out for, a few weeks to a month plus, so we'll see what he's like. Weathers overall has pitched really well, like Warren. You get guys like Elmer Rodriguez Cruz coming up. Spot starts playing really well. The Yankees rotation has been quietly doing a solid job. Rodon, he's only been back 2 starts, so you're not really sure what you're going to get out of him. But the rotation's got depth. The bullpen's been overused, and that's leading to issues with like a Bednar. But Doval has looked solid recently, especially today. And it goes in cycles. You have bad weeks and good weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised if they'd go on an 8-2 run over the next 10.
Do
And
you
we're looking
think
at
them losing Freed is going to be a huge problem with the
no, because they're
rotation?
swapping Fried for Cole.
Do you think Cole's going to come back and do good right away, or do you think
Yes.
it's going to be like most pitchers where they just
No,
takes
because
a
the
while?
Yankees slow walked his rehab because they didn't need to rush him back because the rotation was playing really well and you had 2 frontline starters in Schlittler and Fried. So you didn't really need to rush Cole. So they brought Cole back. They skipped his final rehab start, but that's because, he was hitting almost 100 on the gun. Like he was pitching well. He's built up. His pitch count is up. So I would expect it to almost be full go for Cole when he's back. Maybe you slow walk it 6 innings, 90 pitches, 100 pitches, his first 2 starts. But I would say you let Cole fly because, one, what he brings to the staff as a leader is immeasurable. Cam Schlittler, I've talked about a bunch. His pro comp is Gerrit Cole. They pitch so similarly. So having Cole in the same rotation as Schlittler for the first time ever is going to help Schlittler take his game to another level because he's not just hearing it from Cole. He's going to actually get to study and watch Cole in real time pitch against the same opponents he does and see it that way, how he reacts and how he sequences. And if Schlittler can learn Cole's breaking ball, that's just a whole new level to his game. But on the outside, John, what are you kind of feeling about the Yankees? I know I've been negative on the Phillies, but don't hold that against me.
I mean, well, they're not in first place. Like I just feels like it's just the Rays are hanging around there, and I feel like for some reason everyone talks about the Yankees and that they're good and stuff, but yet all I see. But then you look at the standings, and it's like you would think the Yankees would be in first, but it's the Rays.
The Rays, and I don't
But it's like
I don't understand them. They just don't lose. And the Yankees, they play the Rays at the end of the week.
so. I mean, but from what I see, like I mean, outside in, I mean, I think the Yankees have a really solid team. I mean, 30 wins and stuff. I mean, surprising that they lost a Subway Series, honestly.
It was very surprising, but the Mets earned it.
But I mean, it's like the Yankees have a solid team. Like I don't really follow them as much as I do. Like I don't really follow the American League as much as I do the National League, especially NL East stuff and the Philly stuff. But I mean, just seems like they're always doing good. I mean, I feel like it's been kind of quiet, news wise with them. It's just haven't heard too much about them. But I think they look good. I mean, Cole's kind of come back Friday. I couldn't be a better time since Fried being out. And you just hope you don't miss a beat now, and then you hope that you just wait for when Fried comes back and you have a really good rotation then going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I feel like at this point, I feel like it's guaranteed the Yankees will make it to October.
The chances are high. Think of a playoff rotation of Schlittler, Fried, Cole, and then your choice of Weathers and Warren or Rodon, or that's a very deep pen. I would say you probably lean Rodon in that scenario because Warren and Weathers can be pretty elite relievers, especially Weathers with his stuff. And then you have, LaGrange coming up through the minors who will be up later this year. We already had ERC pitching, and they have so much depth that I don't really want to be worried. And I do think Fried, narrowly missed what could have been a season-ending injury. But, take your time with him. Make sure he's back strong because, again, it's all about the final push. And I don't think he was pitching particularly well to begin with. In every single one of his starts, it was either like 3+ runs or no runs.
For Fried?
Yeah, so
wasn't he he was up there for
he was, but like
Cy Young stuff.
He gave up 3 runs or more in like half of his starts. And the other starts he just gave up no runs. So he was either ridiculously good or insanely mediocre. And that's not him. So I think there was probably some issue all season that he's been dealing with, and some days felt better than others. So just let him get it out of his system now because you can afford it in
Is
May, in June.
is it me, or is there a lot of that going around in MLB where like there's a player doing bad, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, they had an injury.
That's just all the time because guys kind
I
of play
just
through it.
But it just feels like it's just so much more than it used to be.
Yeah, but I think that's just the new information age where everybody can report on anything and people are smarter with what they're seeing and the information they're taking in. But let's go on to a team that's playing extremely well and is in first place in their division. The San Diego Padres, 29-18 overall, 7-3 in their last 10, a +8 run differential. First place in the Dodgers National League West. The Padres lead the division. And something I think we should really note, they are 15-8 away from home and only 14-10 at home. So it's not like they're playing extremely well at home with that home field advantage. No, they're going to your place and beating you. And they're doing that with a underperforming Tatis and possibly one of the greatest closers to ever live, apparently, in Mason Miller, because
He's
that
been
guy is just
insane.
ridiculous. And then just their team overall, like if you look at how they're doing, it's been a fun time with the Padres. Like, hold on, let me.
The Padres have been absolutely crazy and stuff, and I feel like
Yeah,
you got some heat
Gavin
earlier on in one of our
Sheets.
videos saying that they were might be better than the Dodgers.
Yep, Bogarts, who's playing fairly well. Uh, you have Gavin Sheets, who's doing well. He's got 9 home runs on the season.
Gavin Sheets
Man,
actually had a crazy week.
yeah, Manny
Too.
Machado, the OPS isn't there, but 22 RBIs. Like, they have guys contributing. Castellanos has 18 RBIs and 3 home runs. He's hitting 194, but still he's knocking in a couple runs. He's sixth on the team in RBIs, above Tatis and Andujar.
Yeah, I was gonna say the fact that the Padres are doing this well with
Yeah,
how bad Tatis has been so far this season, I feel like is a good sign in a way because I don't think Tatis is not going to be this bad the whole
no,
year.
he's
There's no
not, but
way.
he's also second on the team in hits. He's only hitting 234, but he's second on the team with 41 hits.
But just wait till he actually starts hitting,
Right.
and gets that power and
Yeah,
starts
of
hitting our
course.
guys. Like it's
Miguel
just gonna.
Andujar, 40 hits. He's hitting 299 with an 841 OPS. Jackson Merrill, he could probably do better. His OPS is 598, fourth on the team with 36 hits. So there's room for improvement, which is crazy for how well they are playing. Even if you look at, their pitching, Michael King's got a 231 ERA. Randy Vasquez a 268. Vasquez is so underrated this season, and he was one of the pitchers brought in the Juan Soto to the Yankees deal. You even go further, right? You look at like just team strikeouts. Mason Miller, second on the team in strikeouts in rotation, not even in the rotation. He's got 45 strikeouts and 0.82 ERA. He has been insane, and that's not even putting it lightly. Walker Buehler pitching all right with 37 strikeouts. He's got a 5.01 ERA, but he's getting guys out, and you need guys to eat innings. Adrian Morjon in the pen, not doing so hot. That's kind of where they're running into that issue where the pen outside of like Bueller or, one guy here or there, Wandy Peralta's pitching fairly well. They're not really doing anything crazy. So you need these guys to really step up outside. And once you kind of get a Tatis going, I think the Padres have another level they can take it to. But what about your team you want to talk about, John?
I want to talk about the White Sox because somehow they are in second in the wild card in the AL. And I just think
That's
it's like
wild.
crazy because it's like we were coming into this, I think, season saying like you know, they can only like their biggest thing is to hope that they can be kind of the Athletics how they were a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And they're here second in the wild card, second in the Central, 2.5 games out of first. Now, granted, they have a minus 12 run differential. I mean, they're 24-23, game over 500. But the biggest thing this whole season is they have been hitting the home run ball like crazy.
Yeah, and there's one specific guy behind that.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this. We talked about this before we started the podcast, but like, I mean, before I was saying, but if you had to guess me out and tell me, where would you think they would have like landed home run wise, like team wise at the league?
At the end of the
Like the
year,
whole like I mean, like just now, like where do you if you had to think?
I mean, I would probably put the middle of the pack because
Yeah, they're tied for second for most home runs in the
who are
in
they
Major League
tied with?
Baseball right now. The Braves, 67 home runs.
Who's in first?
Yankees with 73, and then you have the Dodgers in fourth there with 63, followed by the Reds with 62. So they are up there hitting. They have 67 home runs on the season as a team,
That's insane. And
which is
Murakami's got like what, 17 of them?
17 of them are attributed to Murakami. Like that's the one thing. Like they're hitting. Like I don't think I'm looking at their stats. Like they don't have a lot of qualified hitters, a lot of platoon guys, but the guys like they do seem to have that are qualified that are hitting the home runs. You have like 17 home runs from Murakami, 13 from Colson Montgomery, 11 from Miguel Vargas, and then 3 from Benintendi and 3 from Chase Mydroff.
Do you see this continuing, or do you see like a fall off coming?
I think. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I don't know because it's like it depends. Does Murakami keep up with the home runs? Like, 'cause I feel like at some point, like, where does Murakami land? Is he going to be a 50 home run? Is he a 50 home run guy? Is he
It could be.
30, 40?
I feel like he ends up like at 42 or something at the end of the year.
Because it's possible. Because it could be. I'm thinking he's between 30 and 40. So I probably will cool off, and I'm assuming the other guys. And I don't think Colson Montgomery is like a big home run guy, probably going to end around like 25, maybe 30. But I just don't. I mean, they can't keep. There's no way they can keep this up. But if somehow they do keep hitting the home run ball, because their pitching is not great, because they're 24th in ERA with a 4.4
That
team
is their
ERA.
issue.
They have no pitching. No pitching. And outside of the home run, I don't think they have much offense either because they don't. Their average is not very. Their team average is not very good either. With they have like they are where are they? Team average 21st with a 233 team average. So they are clearly just a
Right.
power hitting team, living and dying by the home run. And I think with a team like the White Sox, I feel like that's what you just go for. That's how you play. You just because you don't really have, like a team around you that's going to win and stuff. So you just kind of go for the power and just swing and try to win as many games as you can. And I mean, we talk about with how bad the AL is compared to the NL. I mean, is it possible they make it into a wild card spot?
It's very possible.
Maybe, probably not though, because I mean they're not. It's not like they're not like the Reds last year in the National League that just kind of snuck in because I think they have a better overall hitting team and a better team overall, especially because they have good pitching. But the White Sox do not have good pitching.
No.
And hitting wise, it's really only being propped up by a couple guys. But I mean, I just had to take it. They're just fun to watch, and it just blows my mind that no one signed Murakami and they took him, and it's looking like the best signing, one of the best signings.
Incredibly well early on. But
it's crazy.
Let's go to our studs and duds because I feel like we'll touch on Murakami again soon. All right, for me, my stud, Cincinnati starter Chase Burns, 2-0 in his 2 games started, 12 innings pitched, only gave up 5 hits, 1 earned run, 16 strikeouts in those 12 innings, a .75 ERA, a 125 batting average against. Meanwhile, my dud, former Blue Jay, current Angels pitcher Alek Manoah, 1 game, 1.1 innings pitched, 6 hits, 9 runs, 8 of them earned, 3 walks. The other team was hitting .554 against him. He's got a 54 ERA, and his fastball topped off at about 84 miles an hour, where it was so slow it was being classified as a changeup. For somebody who talked a lot of garbage about the Yankees and Gerrit Cole and the spider tack, Cole's fastball hitting 99.6, Manoah hitting 84. Who was the real spider tack merchant?
I think Manoa's downfall was when they added the pitch clock in. He had to change his pitch pace, and then ended up in the complex
Wasn't
leagues.
mentally he was not mentally prepared to be a
I don't-
baseball player in the modern age. He
I don't
talked
think it was
too much
mentally, more
trash,
physically.
mentally, physically. He talked too much trash, and he was not good enough to talk the way he did. He's gotten everything he's deserved. Manoah's having the career he deserves.
My stud, Corbin Carroll, tap on him early, 8 for 18, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 6 walks, 444 batting average, a 1.583, I think, OPS this past week. So I mean, he's back. I think he might be back. Good news for the Diamondbacks. My dud, someone who had a really good start to the season, and maybe now has Mets fans kind of rejoicing a bit. Brandon Nimmo, 1 for 20, 1 RBI, batting 50 with a 236 OPS this past week.
That's what he gets for hurting Clay Holmes.
He's cursed now.
He's cursed now. And Nimmo started off hot, but
really hot.
falling off.
Yeah.
My rookie, TJ Rumfield, Colorado first baseman, former Yankee farmhand. I believe we've talked about him before.
Mm-hmm.
6 games, 19 at-bats, 7 hits, 2 doubles, 1 homer, 3 RBIs. He's got about a .368 batting average. He's walked 5 times, a 1.152 OPS. Not a lot of bright spots in Colorado, but TJ Rumfield is one of the few.
Yeah, another bright spot on a team that probably isn't a lot. Murakami.
Whoa, I wonder where we heard about these White Sox.
I know. Murakami, 7 for 20, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 6 walks, batting .350 with, I think I wrote down, a 1,700 OPS this past week. And he has 17 home runs on the season, 32 RBIs on the season, batting .241. That's almost the same as Schwarber.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I mean, hung on home runs, but RBI wise, because that's what matters. I think RBIs matter more than home runs, because that's really the whole point in my book is RBIs. But I mean, I just can't believe that no one signed him, and the fact that I think he might be making a strong case for Rookie of the Year.
Oh, he's absolutely making the case, and now you're going to get a lot of people who are like, "Oh, if you played in the Nippon League, you shouldn't be eligible." But you're
going to get that.
I think Murakami deserves it.
He's earned it, and the fact that he drew 6 walks.
The fact that nobody wanted him and he had to sign with the White Sox shows that he earned it.
Yeah.
Let's go on to our moment of the week. For me, the Angels going into last night's game, they were getting no hit by the A's JT Ginn. And then all of a sudden, Adam Frazier ended the no-hit bid in the bottom of the ninth. And then the next, 6 pitches later, the next batter, Zach Neto, walk-off 2-run home run. So to go from getting no hit in the 9th inning to a walk-off 2-run blast to win 2-1, that's kind of crazy. Just the emotional whiplash and just the speeches made in the dugout to kind of get them in the zone. It's kind of crazy how the Angels were able to come back off, because you can be in that ditch. You're getting no hit. You're mentally checked out. And then, boom, back in it. that is a great win for them, and that's something that they need to keep the momentum going. Rattle off a couple wins, but it's a special moment for them.
My moment of the week is it's kind of like 2-1. It's the comeback win the Phillies had against the Pirates, and then which ended up in a sweep. I mean, you had the Phillies go down 6-0 third inning against the Pirates. Then the fourth inning it was 6-1, and then fifth, they brought it back 3-6, and they went that. And then Pirates scored another run 7-3. Sixth inning 8-3. Game looked like it was kind of over. Schwarber hit a solo. Schwarber hit a home run, two RBI homer, brought it back 5-8. Schwarber came up ninth inning. Well, they walked the run in, bases loaded. Harper singled, tied the game up. 10th inning, Marsh doubled. Marchand finally had a hit. I believe this was like his first hit in like almost 20 at bats.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. It was like 0 for 19 in his last at bats. Came up, singled, scored Stott and Marsh, went up 11-8. The Pirates came up, put one run up on them, but the Phillies ultimately ended up winning 11-9, and then ultimately ended up sweeping them.
Who would have thought that sweeping the Pirates would have been something that the Phillies were gloating about?
Hey, Pirates are a solid team.
No, they are a very solid team.
And they beat Skeens. And you have to put Skeens, best pitcher in the National League, baby. One of the best pitchers. I mean, I don't know. Chris Sanchez might be the best.
Chris Sanchez is unbelievably good.
Might be the best. Who knows?
All right. Let's highlight some series. Talked a lot about the Yankees today. They do host Tampa Bay. Take that series, changes how the division runs. The Yankees need to start beating some good teams. Now that kind of Yankees don't beat winning teams is kind of BS because you had a bunch of good teams that are, with a losing record. The Yankees are now technically 0-6 versus teams over 500. Does that really make any sense? No. Like, they've gone down. They had a win, and now the A's aren't a winning team. They're 23-24, even though they're winning the West. So they're 0-6 versus teams with an above 500 record. They've only played Tampa 3 times. And then the other 3 are I don't even like – it's just so stupid. They got swept by Milwaukee and Tampa, and those are the only 500, plus teams they've played. Everybody knows that the Mariners are good and the Rangers are good. A couple wins here and there, and they're back.
Are they going to be good? What if they don't? What if they aren't?
That would be shocking because only over 500 teams are going to be left on the schedule. So I think it doesn't really matter this early because, schedule, a 500 team hasn't really been established yet, but showing what you can against the Rays will either make the fan base a lot more comfortable going into the summer or really start to panic when they really don't need to. So Tampa Bay at the Yankees, I want to highlight that because that is huge, and that'll also be the series. Cole will start that off on Friday, and he'll be starting it off, the Yankees, playoff push in May because it's that big of a series.
My series, Mets at the Marlins. Just because it's pretty much the battle for last place right here. Because whoever loses this is probably going to end up being last in the NL East.
Yeah.
So can the Mets finally make their way out of last place? So I'm hoping they don't because I don't like the Mets, but
no, I think the Mets will.
This is where they can kind of redeem themselves, and I think
the Mets have a run in them.
I think this is where they kind of redeem themselves and start their long journey back to being what I think they are, the third place team in that NL East division.
Right.
On their way to 70 wins.
Any other final thoughts on this week in baseball?
I feel like I just shout out to Alec Boehm because not only has he been hitting great, I forgot I should have talked about him more.
Yeah,
Alec but he's Boehm. Been some Gold Glove defense at third.
You got PCA yelling at fans and getting fined, undisclosed amount of money.
Yeah, we can't say what he said definitely on the podcast.
No, but
But
you should not be doing that. You
no,
gotta hold yourself to a higher standard.
especially from what I've read, what the fans said was pretty standard heckling.
Right.
It's not like the situation where you get in with the
Like a
stuff you see with
Jaron Duran.
Duran, where it's like absolutely just horrific stuff. Where I
Yeah.
would feel like no one would really be upset if you said something back to them because totally, it's warranted. This, I don't know. Maybe it's because PCA is just kind of, young stuff,
Right.
young, just, hit the moment. You're used to just saying that back, but now you kind of have to think before you say stuff now that you're in the majors.
Of course.
So many cameras on you, stuff's going to get picked up, But
Yeah, that's gonna do it from us, though. Corey, Jason, John Pauline will be back at it again next week for the Outsider Sports Baseball Podcast.